Welcome back to Director's Choice. One of the most iconic animations about martial arts and a true legend till this very day is Kung Fu Panda. Through the lenses of talented animals with very humane feelings, like most animations, the Kung Fu Panda movies provided a comical yet deep perspective towards what it meant to be a hero. And we saw it all from the standpoint of Po, the cuddly panda.
I know! As for Tigress, face Iron Ox and his blades of death.
From an upcoming chef in a noodle shop to exclusively training with the Furious Five, aka the coolest squad of fighters, Po has come a long way. Come on, he even ended up training the Furious Five. Well, not with a lot of success at first, but still, it counts.
I've been taking it easy on you, Panda, but no more.
Entertainment industry, Po is one of those quirky characters that you just can't help but fall in love with. In this episode of Director's Choice, we are going to unwrap the interesting dumpling that is Po's life, before and after he became the Kung Fu Panda. How did his past affect his growing up? Did it later make an impact on his future? What are the peculiarities of his character? And how did they play into his strength later on? Is there any symbolism to the loss of and reuniting with his family? Stick around and we'll answer these questions and a lot more. Here is the breakdown of the life of Kung Fu Panda, or Po if you prefer. Let's get right into it.
That's not what I meant.
Po wasn't always known as Po, Dragon Warrior, or the legendary Kung Fu Panda. Po was Lotus Shan, the young panda cub who lived with his biological parents in a panda-dominated farming village located in southern China. Lotus Shan grew up as a happy cub, content in their remote village, until tragedy struck in the form of wolves who were under the command of a peacock. Yeah, that sounds funnier than the reality of the situation. Lord Shen, the peacock commander who was crazy for power, directed the wolves in a mission to wipe out all the pandas that were in China at the time. This mission went on to become the horror of Lotus Shan, aka Po's childhood. When Shen and his wolves arrived at the panda's village, their only goal was destruction, as they set parts of the village on fire and hunted down every panda in their line of sight. The boss wolf and the pack of followers set his sights on Lotus and charged after him, but the cub's father, Li Shan, quickly saved his son and injured the wolf, leaving a scar on its left eye. After rescuing their son, Li Shan handed him over to his wife, choosing to stay back and fight off the wolves while his family tried to escape the massacre. Lotus Shan and his mother ran through the forest alongside other escaping villagers, most of whom got caught by the wolves who were at their heels. Lotus's mother was swift and clever, managing to evade them until she burst out at a nearby river, where she found a ship that was docked on the bank. Thinking fast, given the dangerous situation, Lotus's mother hid him in one of the crates containing radishes among several crates of other vegetables that were headed for the other side with the cargo. After making sure he was placed in the crate, Lotus's mother bid him farewell before turning back to lure Shen and his followers away, securing her son's safety away from Shen's evil plans. And that was the last time the young cub was known as Lotus Shan.
We did it! I just concluded. Did you guys see that? I was all like,
The crate of radishes that held the young cub traveled from southern China to a village in the Valley of Peace, where the cargo was headed for the local noodle shop owned by Mr. Ping, a goose.
Okay, what's wrong?
In the strange new location, the young panda was discovered by the noodle shop owner who wanted to dismiss him at first sight. However, after considering, the old goose decided to pity him, and he decided to bring him up as his child, and went on to name him Sha Po. Ping cared for Po and gave him everything he could within his capacity as an adoptive parent. As Po grew up under Ping's wings, he learned about noodle making, worked at the shop, and was well on his way to inheriting the family business. However, despite their bond, Po knew deep down that he wasn't where his soul knew to be home. But he never questioned Ping's kindness, and he paid him back with nothing but love. The fact remained that although Ping was a goose, and he couldn't possibly be Po's real father, It didn't stop either of them from building a solid father-son relationship based on mutual understanding and affection.
Look, I don't understand. You finally had the noodle dream.
I lied. I don't dream about noodles, Dad.
Although he had fun working and living with Ping, Po's actual interest was in Kung Fu. But his pudgy physical appearance didn't make him the ideal candidate for any master to train. Po was very fascinated by the Kung Fu mastery of the inhabitants of the Jade Palace, and it was his ultimate dream to get to hang out with the cool members of the Furious Five. However, the biggest holdback for Po to achieve any of his fantasies was the feeling of being out of place. When the tournament to select the Grand Master, a Kung Fu pro who will behold the secrets of the iconic Dragon Scroll, came up at the Jade Palace, Po was excited about the outcome. The top selection for the Dragon Warrior was any of the 5 members of the Furious Five. And Po, who was impressed with their skills, ran from the noodle shop to watch the ceremony at the palace. Upon arrival at the palace, Po had been locked out because the ceremony was at its highlight. But he wouldn't be deterred. Po tried different methods to get into the palace and watched the announcement of the Dragon Warrior.
Citizens of the Valley of Peace, come on. It is my great honor to present to you Tigress, Viper, Crane, Monkey, Mantis.
And when he finally got creative and used fireworks, Po landed right in front of Ogwe, the senior headmaster at the Jade Palace and the Grand Master. Ogwe took his sudden appearance as a mythical sign to choose Po as the Grand Warrior.
Buddy, I am the Dragon Warrior.
Po, the adoptive son of the noodle shop owner. Po, the panda who didn't believe in his physical abilities or fighting skills. Po, the one who felt out of place and lacked confidence at great lengths. Po was chosen to be the legendary Dragon Warrior, and his life changed completely.
What? A lifetime? Whoa. I did not have a lifetime.
We only heard about Master Rhino a few days ago.
Po was insecure about a lot of things, and he had low self-esteem, so when Ogwe chose him as the Dragon Warrior, he had zero conviction to push forward. After the announcement, Po went under the mentorship and tutelage of Shifu, the stern master in charge of training the members of the Jade Palace. The training Po got from Shifu and the treatment he got from some members of the Furious Five weakened Po's esteem even further, and he began to contemplate leaving the Jade Palace. When his resolve was at the lowest, Po had a conversation with Ogwe that boosted his determination.
They're the 5. What can I teach them?
There is always something more to learn, even for a master. For instance, let me show you another move. The dramatic exit.
Po became relentless in his efforts to get better, and in his positions of weakness, Po found strength. Shifu realized that Po's love for food and cuddly personality could be harnessed into a new fighting technique. Po learned to use his weight for his benefit and improved his agility, crafting him into a worthy and actually formidable opponent. His unrelenting determination pushed him to become an excellent kung fu fighter, and his confidence grew even more. This improvement would prove to be efficient sooner rather than later, when Po had to face off Tao Lung, a former member of the Jade Palace who had become power-obsessed.
You? Him? He's a panda. You're a panda. What are you gonna do, big guy? Sit on me?
The news of Tai Lung's escape from prison threw everyone at the Jade Palace into different forms of frenzy. Shifu was wary of the return of his adoptive son that turned rogue. The Furious Five wondered if they'd be able to defeat Shifu's first prodigy, and Po was the most shocked because he was expected to defeat Tai Lung as the Dragon Warrior.
Po. Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary.
While the Furious Five attempted and failed to take on Tai Lung by themselves, Shifu gave Po the sought-after Dragon Scroll, believing that it would help the panda in the inevitable battle. Finding the meaning of the empty scroll after returning to Mr. Ping, Po realized that the essence of becoming the Dragon Warrior was to believe in his own ability to be special. With this knowledge, Po headed back for Jade Palace and taunted Tai Lung with the scroll.
Oh, come on. Face it, he picked me by accident.
Seeing as his opponent was not aware of the empty content, Po applied the techniques he learned from Shifu and some of his creative maneuvers to outwit Tai Lung. When the Furious Leopard tried to use his deadly nerve tricks on Po, The panda's body composition nullified the effect, making Po laugh and increasing Tai Lung's fury. Po successfully killed Tai Lung by applying the powerful Wuxi finger hold.
You're bluffing. Shifu didn't teach you that.
Nope. I figured it out.
Through a mysterious technique that he created by himself. Defeating Tai Lung meant that Po had saved the village. Despite the victories that followed in Po's adventures alongside the Furious Five, there was still a huge chunk of his identity that was missing. After defeating Tai Lung, Po was faced with a brutal reminder of his past life, and he had to achieve inner peace before he could defeat Lord Shen, the peacock who had attacked his family when Po was just a cub. Po successfully defeated Shen and made peace with his past. The final movie in the original Kung Fu Panda trilogy mainly focused on Po mastering his kung fu skills and gaining the ability to control and direct chi. But above all else, Po's character arc was complete because his life had meaning. Po was able to trace back the history that connected him and Grandmaster Oogway. He was able to reconnect with his father and other pandas in the village where he was born, and he had established solid relationships with the Furious Five.
All you have to lose is our respect.
Po had gone from a lost, insecure, and unskilled panda to becoming a confident, determined, and exceptional master of the martial arts. He had found himself. Po has gone through several shocking transitions in life that have all molded him into the dragon warrior that he is today, and an absolute goofball at heart. Po was open to learning new techniques. He never backed down from a challenge. And whenever he sets his mind to achieving something, he throws his full weight on it. Po's resilience and ever-optimistic nature are definitely worth emulating. If you have a friend who struggles with self-acceptance and confidence like Po used to, just remind them that they are capable of more than they can ever think of.
Stop it. I'm gonna pee.
That's what Mr. Ping, Oogway, and Shifu did for Po at different points in his life. And it is the combination that made Kung Fu Panda a true hero. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us on the breakdown of the life of Kung Fu Panda, aka Po. Take a look at this other recent clip by Director's Choice, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.